Welcome back, y'all. Pokey Lambo here, and today we're going over what you should be targeting and trying to pick up this week, both in singles and in sealed products. And here on this channel, we like to pick things up at MSRP or at least stuff that's starting to trend down a little bit, so that way we can pick it up at a lower price, because we definitely believe in picking up stuff at a reasonable price and trying to get things that people aren't looking at. And some of the singles I think that are really worth picking up are promo cards. And with the Greninja set coming out here soon, I think this Greninja promo card from Scarlet and Violet is definitely one worth picking up. And it's anywhere from like $74 to $66 near mint. And I think this is one that you'll definitely be able to see triple in value, or one that is good to add to the collection now before it starts to go up in value. So we're starting out strong here with our boy Greninja. And next up we have the Mew promo from Scarlet and Violet. And as you can see, this one is starting to run up pretty fast, and I don't think it's going to come back down anytime soon. And we're getting close to that $100 range. And once it kind of goes past there, I'm not really a huge fan of picking up a lot of these cards past $100. So I think the window is starting to close a little bit on this specific card. So if it's one that you're wanting to pick up, I would highly recommend it. And I haven't been able to pick this one up yet, and I'm not a crazy Mew fan. I know that Mew is a really popular Pokemon, so it's always great to snag one. But for me, this might be one that's a little too late. But I think that if you're a fan and you like Mew and 151, I think this is one of the things that's left that's worth picking up right now. And another one that made it back on our list is this Charmander from Obsidian Flames. And it's starting to go up to the $80 range, but it's kind of the same boat to me as the Mew. And I definitely think that this is one of the best promos of Scarlet and Violet, and we're getting close to that $100 card range. And it's kind of hard to justify spending much more than that, but I think that it still has a lot of room to run, especially with Charizard kind of going crazy right now. I think it's a great time to pick it up, especially as it's really starting to get close to that time that the whole block with Obsidian and 151 is starting to rotate out. Definitely hurry and pick this up before it starts to go even more parabolic, because right now, as you can see, we're up 100%. So I think it definitely can keep running up. So definitely one, try to pick it up sooner than later. Also, our Blastoise here from 151 is down, I believe, doesn't show here, but from what I was seeing on the collector app, it's down about 20%. So if it's one that you were hoping to snag, right now might be a good time with it being down about 20%. And it's one that I really want. And honestly, with it dropping back down, if I can find one in person and try to negotiate down to like 150, I might try to do that. So I think that's kind of a good thing going into the week, is if you're out looking at card shows or at local game stores, you might be able to negotiate it down even more. You can be like, look, it's down 20%, you wiggle it down a little bit more. So you might be able to talk some deals there with it starting to move down. And another thing I think that's worth possibly picking up is Surging Sparks is kind of hitting another, not low, but it's starting to kind of go down. It's picking back up. We got 72 here sold, but it's from a range of $245 to almost $300. So there might be people that are just picking these up from vending machines. I've heard that they're in the vending machines again, so maybe people will be looking to make a quick buck. So you could pay anywhere from like 220 if they're just trying to make a quick dollar or so. And I still think Surging Sparks as a booster box is pretty good, especially compared to these newer mega sets that are coming out. And we'll kind of get more into that. And I also threw in Journey Together just because it's an enhanced booster box, and for about $250, I still think that's pretty good. And I really like the theme of Journey Together, and I think that goes a long way with the set in general, especially with the mega block, the booster boxes being pretty bland and kind of uninspired in my opinion. I think that a lot of collectors down the road are going to really like this booster box as a display piece. So if they don't really print a ton of them, I do think that this could be a really nice collection piece and something that could potentially be sold at a pretty good price later down in like 5-10 years. And for $250, it's kind of just chilling here, and I think it's actually a pretty decent pickup. I wouldn't go crazy, but I think if you're really looking to just pick up a booster box, that this one is definitely one that's worth considering. And our Team Rocket's Moltres is still just coming down below $88. There's some sales, and I think that this one is unfairly dropping. I know that it has the stamp from those Team Rocket UPCs, but those things are so expensive, and I kind of doubt how much people are opening of those, and if we're even going to see another reprint of that specific product. So there might not even be that many of those Team Rocket Moltres UPCs floating around. So I think right now is a great time. I couldn't imagine it going down any further, especially with Destined Rivals, a lot of the product just running up so high. I just can definitely see this one starting to climb back up here in the next few years. And $88, I think people are going to be kicking themselves for not picking it up now. And another one is the Mega Promo of Charizard X, and it's only $35, and I think it's going to definitely benefit from how popular that Charizard is from Phantasmal Flames. And for $35, I think it's definitely worth it. And I could definitely imagine just filling up a binder full of these guys. And there's just a boatload of those Charizard X UPCs that were printed. Obviously, a lot of them are being stored away, but I do think that there's going to be quite a bit opened as well. And I think that even as a graded play, that these look really, really good. Like, it's not as good as the other Charizard, but I think it's better than any of the other Mega X Charizards from back in the day in the XY era. And you can see that it looks like there's even kind of not like a crazy buyout, but 77 sold around that $30 range. I definitely could see these pushing up to about $100 at some point in the future. And we'll just have to wait and see kind of how much of those UPCs, if we do see a reprint, because if there is a reprint, that it's definitely going to tank these down. So I definitely wouldn't pick up a crazy amount of these, but I think you definitely get away with getting like 5 or 10 of them. And then if they do have another huge reprint, it drops down in price, maybe that's when you pick up like 100 if you're one of those kind of people that just likes to buy up a ton of these singles once they get dirt cheap. So it'll be interesting to see how much of the UPCs of Mega X we get Charizards printed. And this other single has kind of been trending down is the Mega Gardevoir from Mega Evolutions, and I was kind of surprised to see it someone selling it for $160. So I think under $200 is a really good time to buy this card. This is honestly one of my favorite Gardevoir cards, having all the evolutions in there, and I don't know, it's just, you have Waltz chilling up there, Kirlia upside down, and then the regular Gardevoir just right in front of the Mega. And I love this design. So seeing it under 200 is kind of surprising, as you can see, down 15%. And I think that's a great time to consider snagging this card. And also the Mega Lucario looks like it's kind of going back up, but you know, we're still on over 17% over the last 3 months. And this is probably, yeah, still one of my favorites from the Mega Block. And I think it's a lot better than the Mega Greninja that has been revealed. I'm not really a huge fan of that Mega Greninja. So I think this one definitely worth picking up under $200. And also the Mega Latios is still just dropping down like a rock. I mean, down 40%. I don't usually like to buy SIRs. I definitely enjoy chasing, but with these mega cards being as cheap as they are, and I guess I should preface that like I don't like to buy these SIRs of super ultra modern cards because there's just so many of them out there that I feel like these prices are a little too ridiculous for me. But I think the mega block is just being, or the mega base set is being slept on right now, and that these singles are actually kind of at a reasonable price that you would see not in a bear market, but kind of it's like a more popular set in a bear market. And just the whole city underneath and the colors actually look really cool, like he's breaking the sound barrier. So for me, this mega actually works really well. And if I ever see this one in person, I definitely would consider picking it up, and really not that many sells. So interesting how this card just is not hitting with a lot of people, and kind of leads into like Mega Evolutions, the enhanced booster boxes. At 290, it's pretty pricey, but compared to all the other booster box sets we've gotten in the Mega era, they've all been really small sets. And I think that this set with the booster boxes, besides Phantasmal, is probably the best, because if it wasn't for that Charizard and Phantasmal would not be that good of a set. And since that art is so amazing in Phantasmal, it definitely beats the Mega Evolutions. But I think in the long run, Mega Evolutions is probably going to be one of the better sets so far. So I'm definitely leaning more towards picking up Mega Evolution booster boxes if the opportunity arises. Like 300's kind of, pushing it, but if you're able to, work out a deal, trade, get something closer to this like 20 to 30, that'd be great. Obviously it's starting to go up, but I think it's something to just really keep an eye on the base set of Mega, especially with just Perfect Order and Chaos Rising, those two sets being so small. It's not really hitting the spot for me, and I really think the booster box here is better than those other two sets. And we have a bunch of new Ascended Heroes product coming out that definitely want to keep an eye out for. Try to figure out with your retail stores, even if you have to buy it on the secondary market, right now is usually the best time to pick up some of this stuff, especially the Ascended Heroes stuff. I think it's just really worth picking up. I think it will definitely perform pretty close to Prismatic. I think Prismatic will still edge it out, but the set is just really strong in the singles. So we got our Partner Deluxe pin collection here, and started out at 80, and now we're starting to see the sales come in. So definitely keep a lookout at your Walmart, Targets, and we also got the poster collection with Lucario, and 120. I'm sure a retail is probably $80. So keep an eye out for this, and you get the attack rare of Lucario there, pretty cool, and same with Gardevoir. So when it comes to picking between the two, I don't know if it super matters. I mean, maybe you could go Lucario, but these are the new things. And then, of course, the talk of the town is the Chaos Rising. So keep an eye out this week. Really try to hone in on your notification groups Monday, Tuesday, possibly Wednesday if we don't see the drop. But really, be on lock, because this is the best opportunity you're going to get at buying at MSRP is the initial drop, and you can't go wrong with any of these. I'm definitely going for the ETBs. The booster box is pretty cool. I went over my video yesterday that the singles, I'm just not really feeling it with it being such a small set, and I think that the Greninja isn't really doing it for me. But I think that if you're buying it at the pre-release on Pokemon Center, that's definitely your best bet. And really try to, don't free up your schedule necessarily for it, but just try to, put yourself in a position where hopefully you're able to pick it up or someone else is able to, so that way you're able to get these, especially the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. Those are just so popular right now. It'll be interesting to see how they perform in the long run. But the Greninja on there looks really slick, and I think you're going to have no issue reselling or even just, keeping that sealed on your shelf, and you'll enjoy looking at it, because for me it's on the same level as Phantasmal Flames ETB. So let me know what you guys think, if Chaos Rising is better than what is it called, the Perfect Order. I honestly kind of leaning more towards the Zygarde at this point. I actually really like the Zygarde having all the forms on its SAR, and Greninja's card is just like a little too cutesy for me, which feels weird for a Greninja. I'd like to see it more in the ninja form than anything else. So appreciate you guys watching. Leave a comment on what product you're definitely targeting on the Pokemon Center drop, and we'll talk to you guys next week, and good luck picking up some product. Peace.